Hello, thanks for joining me. Well, I really like this tumbler here. I'm making more cutoff tool parts, and I've already tumbled in the abrasive media and water. Forget what they call this. It's I think it's aluminum oxide. You tumble it in that and some water and some rust inhibitor. I'll put some links down below to the tumbler and the parts, or to the media. And anyway, after that, you put it in a dry media, walnut shells, and I'm going to see what it looks like right now. Here's what it looks like. As a comparison, that's what it looked like before I tumbled it. This one's sharp, this one's smooth. The only problem with walnut shells, it gets in that little cut I made right there, but it's easy to knock out. Just take a steel rule and it's like that. But that's not what this video is about. I'm making these cutoff tools and I need a way to pack them. Here's my dilemma. I had some white foam and I used it up, so I found this stuff. I think I bought it at Lowe's, 1-inch foam, and I need a way to cut that foam to fit these cutoff tools for shipping. But cutting that out with a hot knife individually is very time consuming. So I've got some nichrome wire, and I'm going to make a device that fits on my drill press, I hope, that will cut through this foam. Okay, I'm totally in the dark about how to figure out how much power this is going to need for a specific length to make the nichrome wire glow red hot. So I'm just going to do a little bit of experimenting. This is a 26 gauge nichrome wire. And that was a guess too. I don't know what I need. So let's just start out with a foot or so and see what I can come up with. No documentation. I think that's a pulse width modulated power supply, 110 volt in. No idea what the output is. Just gonna have to experiment. What's this? I believe that's it. Okay, hopefully this doesn't have a 24 volt input, or nope, it didn't explode. I got it plugged in. Let's see what kind of voltage we got on the output. Oh, yep, that's 123 volts. Speed control there doesn't seem to make much difference. No difference. Okay, see what it does. Nothing drastic. Oh, that was drastic. Try that again. I don't know anything about these power supplies. I'm pretty sure this is a pulse width modulated power supply. But I was reading 120 volts AC on the output, regardless of where I had that potentiometer. So, I'm still plugged in too. Smart. I turned it up fairly rapidly last time. Oh, there it is. It's putting out some heat there. Looks like it's fairly easy to regulate. Oh, fairly. Yeah. I like it. Okay, now we got to make the die cutter. Okay, I'm cutting a little groove in the end of that nail. I don't know if it'll work or not, but the reason will be clear in a minute. A groove right next to the point. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work good or not. I don't know if I got it tight enough. A lot of the jigs I've seen on the internet are spring-loaded, so the wires are real tight. Yeah, we'll see. This is a prototype. Okay, I'm positive this complies with all safety regulations. OSHA would be proud. Okay, I'm not sure what I'm going to do underneath. Okay, let's crank up the heat, see what we got. Hopefully we don't blow a fuse. It's hot, but not hot enough. No problem seeing that. There it goes. Okay, that didn't work very good. I think more heat, faster. Oh, that worked pretty good. Let me unplug it just so I don't lose my setting. So here's AXA. Could have made it a little smaller, but it really doesn't hurt anything. I like it. Now I need to make one for BXA, but first I'm going to cut out all the AXA. I like that. Okay, I need to put me some guides so that I know where to stop the foam like that. If I get it too hot, it'll melt the nichrome wire, but there, I turned it up a little bit. That kind of surprised me. The piece that I cut out falls right out. Well, that about wraps it up for today. I'm pleased with the way these came out. It doesn't look really fancy, but it'll work really well. I'll put some links down below to the cutoff tools and to the tumbler that I use to smooth out the cutoff tools. I'm also making a OXA size cutoff tool. I haven't tried one, don't have anything, a lathe to test it on, so I'll have to build one and let somebody else test it. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Be sure and subscribe and ring that bell. Well, I'd just like to thank everybody that's bought my cutoff tools. There was a lot of planning and a lot of work went into developing them, and there's a fair amount of work to build them. But I've had all good reviews. I think I've had 2 complaints where the tool holders didn't fit the tool posts. There's some variation between tool posts and variations in the tool holders that I'm getting. I test them all on my tool posts before they go out, but I can't accommodate all variation. Anyway, the cost on them's gone up a little bit, I think $8. I've kept my prices as low as possible, and when I get a price increase, I just got to pass it on. Apologize for that, but it's still a reasonable price, I think. Anyway, I thought I'd go over the setup and feed speeds and service speed and all that stuff to show you how to successfully use these cutoff tools. So let's get started. Okay, first thing we got to do is set the feed rate for 1 to 2 thousandths per revolution of the chuck. Now, I would start out with 1 thousandths. 1 thousandths works good for me. Depends on the lathe, I'm sure. But the best way I found to do that is put a piece of tape on your chuck and then engage your feed and make sure your dial handle is turning. Make sure all your backlash is out. Then stop the tape up at the top position like that and re-zero your dial to 0 there. And then I've counted 50 to make sure. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 49, 50. Okay, now I look at my dial and it says 45 thousandths. So it's not quite 1 thousandths per revolution, it's very slightly under. So, but we're set up to cut off now. Okay, I've already got my tool post set square. The blade is square to my chuck. And the next thing to do is to set the tool height. To do that, I just use a steel ruler against the tip of the tool, and that's obviously too high. When the ruler is vertical, tool height is right. That looks right there. Lock it down good and we're ready to go. I've got the lathe set at 100 surface feet per minute for 1-inch stock. Actually, it's a little bit fast. And you might hear a little bit of screeching when the tool first starts. That's due to that speed being a little bit fast. But the ideal speed for cutoff is based on diameter. So as the tool gets toward the center of the stock, the ideal speed really needs to be faster. So there's a compromise going there. But as long as you're close to the 100 surface feet per minute, everything works good. This oil bottle is ideal because it puts oil exactly where you need it, and it doesn't require much oil, no oil slinging. So I've got my feet engaged, and you probably hear this screech. No? No screeching. Sometimes when the surface speed's a little fast on the outside, you'll hear a screech for a minute. Once the tool's under load, it goes away. You can see I'm just barely dripping oil into that. This is 440 RPM. The only problem I've had is sometimes the tip of the blade will go under the stock. You can do a couple of things to avoid that. You can shorten the blade slightly. Don't go too far though. 1 inch is probably ideal. Or you can increase the speed. There you go. Look good. Well, that worked good. I'd like to thank everybody that's bought this tool so far. I'll put the links to the new tools in the description down below. Anyway, that wraps it up. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to subscribe and ring that bell.